You can see the setup coming a mile away. We got a lot of big news today, all right? It's very interesting. Now, this first article says Ripple MNA, almost said MMA. MNA target hidden road to open new office in Abu Dhabi with a potential, here's the key part, with a potential royal family addition. Why else would they do that? What are the reasons they would do such a thing? A royal family member may be included in the happenings. This is what they're reporting. This has come from Yahoo Finance, okay? You go look up the article for yourself. If that happens, there's something major in the works. But let me read this article to you. Let me just scroll down. Bear with me 1 second, okay? So, it says Hidden Road, a prime broker that focuses on crypto and traditional assets, which recently agreed to be acquired by Ripple, is opening an office in Abu Dhabi, according to two people with knowledge of the matter. The office will be led by James Strickland, a partner at the firm, said the people who spoke on condition of anonymity because the matter is private. So they're dropping names. It's coming from Yahoo Finance. This is serious. And it's not out of the realm of what I think most people thought was possible, because Ripple had already, before Hidden Road, Ripple had great relationships in the MENA region, all over the MENA region, with all types of financial systems, from Atajari Wafa to QNB, all of their branches. For years and years, they've been working in that region, building relationships. So this is nothing far-fetched about this. Let's keep going. It says the company has received in principle approval from the Financial Services Regulatory Authority, FSRA, of ADGM, Hidden Road said in a press release shared with CoinDesk on Thursday. So they're confirming this, that there is validity to this. It says a member of the Abu Dhabi royal family could potentially join the board of the company's local entity. Where do you think that will lead? The opportunities are going to be unbelievable if that occurs. Let's keep going. So, could join the board of the company's local entity, which it receives when it receives final regulatory approval, one of the people said. So, I mean, how long does this process take? That's the next question that I will have. So we'll know when to expect an update on this. This could be major, huge. Once Hidden Road receives this final approval, it will be authorized to offer clearing and prime brokerage services to institutional investors in the UAE. The company said they are not the only firm making moves in the region. Circle. Do you see all the dots getting connected? So Hidden Road is doing this, could possibly be connected to a royal family member at some point soon. Then also, Ripple attempted to acquire Circle not once, but made a follow-up offer of many more billions of dollars. That's what they're reporting. And if that happens, Ripple's a powerhouse. I mean, it's already a powerhouse, but I mean so much greater than what we anticipated by these potential acquisitions. Well, one is acquired and one they're attempting to acquire. It's a Circle, the issuer of the second largest stablecoin, USDC, said it received in principle regulatory authority from Abu Dhabi last month. What's the likelihood they're all in that same little area? Do you think it's possible that, and I don't totally believe in the spontaneity of some of these acquisitions. I believe that there must have been conversations had over the years, preemptively, before such a move that indicated that it will be possible to make such a move successfully. I'm talking about acquiring Circle by Ripple. Now, if Ripple has Hidden Road and Circle and they're both dominating, well, Ripple's already been very, very successful in the MENA region, but all three of those facets are dominating in the MENA region. We're talking a lot of value. And I want to keep on the table, because RWA Real world asset tokenization will be huge. You want XRP's price to skyrocket? You want some of these bank coins who are also in the MENA region to skyrocket, like Theyre? I think Zinfin was also there. I'm not sure what they're doing now, XDC. You want them to skyrocket? You need activity like this. All right, so that's one thing. Let me move on. Wait, there's more. There's a lot happening today. Why does it always seem like they release this big news on Fridays? Why? Let's go here. Look at this. What is going on here? We're making a lot of progress in crypto. This article is titled, SEC proposes exemptions for tokenization DLT securities. Yesterday, Commissioner Hester Pierce said that the Securities and Exchange Commission is inspired by some of the sandbox environments offered in other jurisdictions and is considering relaxing some registration requirements. Really? Golden age, folks. Golden age. The door's opening. Believe me. Well, you don't have to believe me, but I feel strongly that many people will get to play. They will get to make life-changing value. I don't say that. And I don't think that's going to last forever. It's not a permanent thing. It's a doorway that's going to open for a while and it will close like all doorways, like all things rise and fall. But I think that's the time that's coming. That's what they're relaxing everything. Removing all barriers. There's only one way this goes, even if it's temporary or more temporary than we may anticipate. It still exists. That possibility, that potentiality still exists. It's real. Wait. So, offered in other jurisdictions and is considering relaxing some registration requirements and rules to support tokenization and DLT-based securities. Historically, the SEC has provided no action letters to individual entities. Commissioner Pierce said that the SEC is considering a, quote, potential exemptive order that would allow firms to use DLT to issue, trade, and settle securities. Is coming. Everything will be tokenized. You see the setup? This is real evidence, real stuff, big time. Wait. See how long the video is now. Okay, I'm trying to keep it reasonable, or these videos will be an hour. There's so much to cover. While regulators often talk about being technology agnostic, most legislation is based on technologies available when they were drafted. Compliance with existing regulations would cancel out some potential efficiencies enabled by new technologies such as DLT. In other words, they're unleashing DLT. Things must change, and they're changing them rapidly for DLT to be used by who? Who is it they're changing everything for? Because if we know that, that'll tell you how much value is coming to DLT. Then clearly they're not clearing the road, unleashing DLT for the people, even though I believe a lot of people are going to make a lot of value. Regular Jane and Joe's going to make a lot of value. A lot of mix in there. A lot of mix. Yeah. But it's not for those. It's not for the mix, the Joes, the Janes. No, it's for the companies, the asset managers. That's what it's like. They don't want, see this, and they're not talking about that a lot, that aspect, because they don't want the people to start to put two and two together and see that because the companies, because the banks, because countries are taking over, there's a flood of value coming, period, that it can't be denied. Once people see it, it can't be denied. The only way you negate that is if there is a major catalyst. There must be a negative major catalyst to take away or stop what is occurring. Other than that, and I haven't seen that yet, maybe it exists. And I just haven't seen it. But other than that, this continues. This trajectory continues, just like gold. So then we have articles like this. There's so much came out today. So much activity happened this week. It's unbelievable. Golden age. We're a step closer to it. This article is titled, U.S. banks are now allowed to manage crypto on customers' behalf. They can buy and sell crypto on the customer's behalf. Let me read you just a little tidbit here. U.S. banks are now allowed to manage crypto assets on behalf of their customers. The U.S. Office of Comptroller Currency, the OCC, confirmed that banks can buy, sell, and hold crypto in custody. They can also outsource to whom? Outsource certain services, such as custody. Now it makes sense why all the different bank coin companies getting into custody, right? They can outsource services such as custody, execution. You wouldn't need bridge currencies and low and liquidity tokens to do such a thing, would you? I think you might. Yeah, I think you might. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I think you might. Sound familiar? Do you see the chess pieces being set up on the board? So they can do all that with third parties, as banks typically do. They just want to benefit. They don't want to do the heavy lifting, right? It says acting comptroller Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood? Wait a minute. You wouldn't happen to be related to J Hood? No, I'm kidding. Although, if you've been around for a long time and you're familiar with the exquisiteness of hip hop culture, right? There was a fantastic rapper once, long time ago in the early 90s, named J Hood. Very, very, very cutting edge. But hey, wait a minute. We're here for crypto. We're not here to talk about music. Let's go here. Let's finish. That just popped in my mind. Rodney Hood. Don't bother him. Rodney is a wild boy. Anyway. Could you imagine if he's watching this right now, just shaking his head like, Mick, are you serious right now? Mick, come on. Stated that the financial institutions could also provide tax reporting, record keeping, and sub-custody services. These services must comply with legal and risk management guidelines. By the way, that wasn't a joke. There was a rapper once named J Hood, was a part of the Locks, back when the Locks were D Block. Oh man, people don't talk about that enough. What a fantastic mixtape run. My favorite, you should already know, was the very, very eloquent and esteemed Styles P. All right. So anyway, just a little, just giving you a little random facts, little outfitting facts. You know, I can go deep on a lot of different types of music. I like a lot of stuff. You know, I could talk about D Block. I can talk about Blink 182. I can talk about all types of things. Mudvayne. I mean, I'm very diverse. I've always been that way. So yeah, that's why I can get along. Anywhere I go, I fit in. Yeah, like just being me. So now there's pays to be diverse. So now the decision marks a shift towards integrating crypto into traditional banking systems, with over 50 million Americans now holding digital assets. Industry experts have welcomed the OCC's move. Catherine Kirkpatrick, BOS of Starkware, said it signals a shift in the OCC stance. While Coinbase's Faryar Shirzad, my apologies, praised the regulatory clarity. Boom. Things are changing rapidly. So now let's go here. We have more happening, folks. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any articles. I believe I covered the XRP article. That was this video, correct? Sometimes I mess up a video, then I mess up the second one, the third one. I mean, so once something releases, I'm not sure what I covered in what video. And to keep it fresh, sometimes once I cover article one time, if that video got messed up, you know, I got to move on to other articles. I have so many. So that's another little random piece of information. I think all this is valuable. If you're getting information from me, but you're also getting to know who I really am. So anyway, which personally, I like that. I like to know who I'm listening to, who I'm watching. Like, it's just me. So now, Bitcoin price hits $104,000 as demand increases. You hear that when they go up? Increases. That's a money. See, that's a money rhythm right there. What rhythm tone increases? $104,000. Let me feel good for a minute. Yeah. Wiggle my head like D'Lo Brown. Remember D'Lo Brown from WWE? And you do that? Everybody was everybody was doing that back then. Stone Cold was doing it. D'Lo Brown was doing that. That to grow up in that time, I'm gonna tell you right now, it had to be rough to be a parent. Everybody's outside, garbage cans set up and tables and people going through tables outside, middle of the street. That's right. But it was fun. It was a fun time, wasn't it? But you definitely might catch an injury. Yeah, you might. Anyway. Hey, man, I like you guys. Let me talk to you for a minute. Okay, anyway, Bitcoin price hits $104,000 as demand increases with spot Bitcoin ETFs hitting new records. Major institutional support growing and bullish momentum holding strong. Here's why Bitcoin crossed $104,000 and why it's likely not done yet. I like that. Talk to me nicely a little more. Yeah, it's like I feel like Oliver Twist. Don't try to pretend like you didn't watch Oliver Twist in school. Yes, you did. You watched it 2 or 3 times because they made you watch it, just like they made us watch it. Yeah. And you remember Oliver going up to that adult who was just giving everybody's a little portion, and Oliver had the guts. Oliver was a real man. Courageous. And he came up to that man. He said, "Can I have some more, sir?" Remember that? Oh, that was groundbreaking. All of us were like, what? You can stand up to the authority. You can stand up to adults. That was a lot of people's first realization that they could be a rebel, that they could walk their own path. They could be sovereign, maybe. "Can I have some more, sir?" Everybody's looking at Oliver. What? Is he really asking? How dare he ask for more? How dare you not ask for more? Can I have some? I feel like that. "Can I have some more high-priced Bitcoin, sir?" No, but it just popped into my mind. I'm saying that now that I say it, I'm like, wait, I'm not asking for anything. We're going to take life by the collar, take control of things. The price of Bitcoin has surged to $104,000 this morning, and it's no accident. A mix of surging institutional inflow. The big money. I told you, they're taking over. This is going to prop that price up. Wait, but just watch it. Watch it and take note of that. Because their manipulation and their selling also cause the price to go down. So you start seeing the selling. If you know where to watch, you're watching the right information. You see all that institutional selling happen. Then you also know retail is going to correspond to that. Retail is going to react to that. If the institutions sell and the price starts going down enough, retail is going to react. It's going to follow. That's how it's shaping up. And when the institutions buy, because of their dominance, then retail is going to buy and things are going to go up. So you need to be watching this information, in my humble opinion. Right? It sounds simple enough, but a lot of people don't do such a thing. It says record-breaking ETF momentum and growing corporate adoption are fueling this rally. Here's what's helping contribute to the rising price of the bit of the coin. A bit of coin. I never thought about it that way. Certainly it's not small in price. It's not a bit. Big institutions, we think of bit, and from where I come from, we think of bit as meaning is short for a little bit. Like big institutions like banks, asset managers, and even some companies are putting money into Bitcoin through ETFs. On Wednesday, James Seyfert of Bloomberg ETF Research reported that spot Bitcoin ETFs have officially hit a new all-time high in lifetime flows, reaching $40.33 billion, according to Bloomberg data. This marks a sharp recovery from the dip earlier this year and signals strong investor conviction. We will see how long that continues. I think Bitcoin is going to do well far into the future. Also, if you notice, the camera looks a little different. This guy have a new camera. And yes, it looks could take some getting used to with the lighting and everything. I thought before it made everything look orange because I have this orange lamp here. And then this camera is like, nope, you know how they say on the internet, hold my beer? This camera said to the other one, hold my beer, watch this. And I'm like, I look like a carrot. So anyway, we're going to leave off there today. I'm getting the video out a little bit later. My apologies for that. Got a members only video coming up in the next few days. I'm going to make sure that one is potent. We have a lot to talk about. So now that you have that information, don't forget, please click that like button for the algorithm, please. Thank you for that. I humbly thank you for that. Also, if you leave a little comment for the algorithm as well, that definitely helps a lot. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.